Hello, everybody. Welcome back from break. It is VCT Game Changers Academy Day 1 presented to you by Verizon. Again, I'm your host, Spicy Pyro, and joined on the desk with me today are Jojo and Maru. We just saw the first group stage matchup, and that was between Misfits Black versus Revive Me Jet, and it was a super close game. They're on bind, a 13-11 win there for Misfits Black, and Revive Me Jet, I believe, actually took away the first 3 rounds of the matchup. So Maru, what do you think it is that happened during this game, particularly maybe a strategy that Misfits Black pulled out to be able to take this lead and take this game home?
Well, okay, before I say anything about that, I think I have to address the elephant in the room, which is I gotta be honest, Revive Me Jet kind of threw the game in that up to the last round there. That miscommunication on the defuse, I don't know, that cost them. That said, in terms of Misfits Black's strategy themselves, Slandy really did seem to be a key there, really able to hold down sites by herself. And once they started doing that, it did seem like they felt a little bit more comfortable. She would just hold B, the rest of the team would be A, and they would just kind of come back and go where they needed to. So definitely really good leadership, I think, there from Slandy in terms of like what to do and how to take advantage of it. That said, they also got really aggressive, right? Like sometimes they would just run straight out and they would get a couple of kills. But yeah, it really Slandy really did a good job. But honestly, some of it also felt like miscommunication. So I don't know which sixth member of the team that was for who, but it definitely came down to a combination of my.
That's for sure. It was definitely down to the wire. But enough about the previous matchup because we're just about getting ready to get into Zero Marksmen White, which is actually the debut of this team in GCA versus Solaire, a name that we're so familiar with, has his history with GCA, but actually hasn't competed within the Game Changers Academy since December. So Jojo, just touching on Solaire a little bit, why don't you give us a little bit about their story?
Yeah, so Solaire, the last time we saw them in GCA was actually in December. That means it's been nearly 6 months since they have competed in the scene or basically competed at all. They have maintained, I believe, 2 members who are going to return to that roster. It's going to be Taro and Leah. So those two have a lot of synergy from the past. They know how to play with each other, even if it has been 6 months for them. And they've added some players who are not new to the GCA scene either. We see Fawn and Chai, both of them from teams who have gone far in GCA in other months as well. So everyone kind of is familiar with the game, familiar with the scene, but maybe not so familiar with the team composition or playing together. And so that's where I really think they're going to succeed really, really great, or it's maybe going to be their downfall.
Yeah, we'll definitely see if they can make a splash with this comeback. And to talk about Zero Marksman White a little bit, Maru, do you have anything to tell us about this team?
So, I mean, this is kind of their big debut, right? This is one of the signed teams that we mentioned earlier that is making their kind of debut, not just at GCA, but kind of in general, and are looking probably to make a big name for themselves, absolutely trying to burst out again onto the scene. You know, you always have that backing, you want to do really well. So we do see a couple of returning players. Kami, probably one of the bigger names. We've seen Communist in GCA quite a bit in other teams. One of the more consistently common players, I think, that I've seen in GCA, and now signed to Zero Marksman White. So we'll see kind of what they can do with that leadership role, and also what Zero Marksman White can do in general. I'm really excited to see this new team come out. And this one's tough for me because I really like Solaire as a team, and I miss seeing them as well. So this one, I don't know if I don't want to choose, right? It's like choosing two different things that you really like. So I want to see a new team really do well. I like Kami. I want to see Kami do well, but I do like Team Solaire. I like Taro, and I like Leah. So I'd like to see them come back and make some sort of statement here in today's studio. So maybe we'll just get a really another close game, and I can be happy with that.
Fingers crossed we get another close game, but we're just about ready to take it into the map picks and bans here. So we'll find out what map we're going to see these two teams who are one making a comeback, the first one debuting, and the first ban to go out there is going to be Breeze. Then we've got Fracture, Ascent, Icebox, Split, and Bind have all been banned. That leaves Haven as the map choice of Solaire, where Zero Marksman White will be starting on the attack. How are you feeling about this map pick here, Jojo?
I really, really enjoy casting Haven. I think it adds a lot of spice. The fact that there are 3 sites, there's plenty of long angles, but also short angles. So maybe we're going to see a resurgence of that judge play or some shorty plays. I think also agents that aren't great on other maps do shine on Haven. For example, a Cypher. I'm missing Cypher a lot, and he is really useful on Haven. And some of the players, some of the agents who kind of have been in the meta are like Chamber, maybe are not great on a map like Haven. But if you're a crack chamber, you're a crack chamber. You're going to play it on every map you can.
Mhm.
That is for sure. And I think we're just about ready to head into Agent Select. So, as a reminder, this is round 2 of the group stage here of VCT Game Changers Academy, hosted by Gallerants and presented to you by Verizon. Players here are going to be competing for a $1,500 prize pool USD. And we're just about to take it away, and I'll let you guys do the rest of the talking.
Going into Agent Select, we've got some
Oh,
locks. Maru
Neon, let's go.
and Kami on Neon. How do you feel
Mm.
about that?
I'm excited now. I got to see Fade. I'm getting to see Neon. I kind of gave up on seeing Yoru, let's be honest. Even with the rework, it's just not happening. I am really, really excited to see Neon here, though. I kind of want to see, and actually, I think Haven's a great map for Neon, not just in the sense that you have 3 sites to deal with, but she has a lot of really good places that she can make use of, kind of running without having to worry about getting like one tap, right? Some maps it's a little rough on Neon because it's so open. Places like Breeze can be a little dangerous if she's out in the open and mid. You're on Haven though, I mean, she can really just pop up where you don't expect her, and that's really Neon's strength. So I'm actually really excited to see her. Other than that, look, we've got again double initiator. We've got Reach and Sky, as well as Omen. On this other side, though, we have Fade again. So we're seeing Fade. We're seeing Reach. But look, Astra. I haven't seen Astra in a while. It almost feels unique to see Astra, these days. Not that she's still not one of the best smokers in the game, but it is kind of nice to see her. But we'll see. Are you going to get your Cypher pick? Let's see what happens.
I am really hoping Marina.
Oh, let's
Yes,
go.
the lock in on Cypher. But look at this, Maru. The only consistent agent between the 2 teams is a Breach. Breach on Haven. I feel like I maybe have not seen that in a while, but both teams thinking it's going to go well for them. Everything else different between Fade, Sky. The breaches are equal, but Chamber versus that Cypher. What are you feeling about that?
See, this is going to be kind of like that almost old school, right? Like if you have those good Cypher setups, but Chamber is pretty scary on Haven if you know like the spots to, the cheeky little teleport spots, little setups. I'm really curious to see. I want to see if Cypher can maintain some sense of relevance. Now, it is always different, right? In competitive play, Cypher is extremely strong. Usually when you play in pubs, you don't see a lot of Cypher, or your Cypher just does ridiculous things that don't matter. But in an organized team, I think Cypher is super, super strong. So I'm really curious, right? Because Chamber kind of fills that role of being both a duelist and kind of a sentinel, especially with Taro playing Chamber. Taro really kind of known as a op demon back from CSGO, even into Valorant. So, I mean, Chamber seems like a great pick on Taro. So I'm really curious to see how she decides to play Chamber here. Is it going to be just holding a site, or is it going to be really aggressive with angles and head taps? Is
Kami forced to move because of that aftershock, and now just has been completely blinded. 5 bullets on that frenzy. The bullets disappear so quickly when you're firing blind. This attack is going to occur in window after members of Solaire pushed out of A. Now that's exactly where the spike is heading. It seemed like it was going to go B early in the round. Interesting choice for round 1, but now Zero Marksmen rotating and going A, but this is being read by Solaire. The frenzy behind the truck doesn't do enough damage to get the kill, but there we go.
Last player standing.
I don't know what was happening there. Some frozen players on screen, but Marina making quick work of that. Spike still not in hand, and no idea where the last player for Solaire is hiding.
Yeah, and kind of interesting because you just asked, like, what are we going to see here between Cypher and Chamber? And well, I don't think I expected it to be literally the first round, but we do have exactly that. We have Cypher versus Chamber,
I
and
have retrieved the spike.
unfortunately, Cypher doesn't quite have a lot here to work with. Oh, Taro from behind gets the kill and collects. And that is one in the bag for Solaire.
The timing was superior for Taro there, just waiting out in sewers, waiting for the perfect time to swing out. And that time, I think, was when we saw the fake plant from Marina. Marina needed to watch 3 angles at once, and that's just not possible, even with the Cypher Cam. So a great round from Solaire, already playing well this early on, and they're going to be able to afford those better guns. We see a Marshall for Scene. That is a gun for a jet, most definitely. But as you mentioned, I don't think it'll be long before we see Taro on an operator.
Yeah, we shall see what happens. I fully expect that. Once I saw Taro back in the mix, I 100% expected to see op plays coming from her. So that was one of the reasons why I was kind of excited to see Solaire back here on the screen. But we shall see. I do want to see more of Neon and kind of like how Kami plans to use her. That was really good, right? Getting all the way to hell like that so that they can hold the angle. But is that going to be enough? Is the question.
We do have this retake beginning with Taro attacking on site. Some shots being fired, but it's not enough. Actually, even numbers by Fell. It's just one player left. This Marina cannot do much. The superior guns, most definitely one out there, even though Solaire lost 2. When you can just run and gun with the Spectre, I don't know if Zero Marksman White even had a chance to hold down their plant. But they did get that plant off. They're going to be securing the extra money from that and going into their first full buy round. So hopefully they're actually able to make a dent in the scoreline. This is typical 2-0 scoreline for this early in the half, but you do see Spectres and Ghosts. And so if Solaire is able to get some guns down and maybe steal them, this round could still go either way.
There.
Yep, let's see what happens as we get the utility coming out. Kami holding this angle against. Oh, wow. And see, this is kind of one of those things, right? Neon being there so quickly, I don't think you really expect. Unfortunately for Kami, just wasn't able to collect the 2 kills there. Isn't going to be able to do much work. Chai trying her best, but is going to go down to Marina's Vandal. Solaire, this is the first time they've looked a little weaker, right? 3-4. So they are absolutely kind of at a disadvantage here. Taro trying to peek out, but against the Phantom, even with, Headhunter, that's a little scary. Prowler is going to go out, does find M, forces her back into the corner, but they are not really aggressing too fast on here. Scene coming through garage.
Last player standing.
Oh no, that's very unlucky. Scene left completely alone, was able to pick up that Phantom off of the initial kill, but it was not enough to fully retake a 1v5. And it was a good round from Solaire in the sense they were able to bonus and take 2 guns out of the hands of Zero Marksman. Zero Marksman now have to put new guns on those 2 players, and as you can see, their economy, they don't have enough money to do that and purchase full shield. So Fell sacrificing the full shield for the half shield to make sure that Kami has a Phantom in hand. But now, Maru, you said it, Taro, light shields and operator. This could absolutely change the game. And on Chamber, the aggression is not out of bounds. I mean, Taro has that teleporter ready to escape into safety after the first kill or the first shot goes off. It's a good read. The spike is leaning towards C, and there's someone also supporting Taro holding this operator position.
Yeah, that is not surprising. Like I said, when Taro's playing, I'm almost positive you're going to see an op, and it does seem like that has caused the entirety of Zero Marksman White to just go away from Taro to a completely different site. So they are just going to move all the way to A and force them to come after the plant here. Scene really trying to hold this angle in this corner as long as possible. And looks like maybe they might now rethink this, looking maybe to go somewhere else. Taro has now kind of relocated to kind of the C elbowish area, maybe expecting a B garage push, but that has left a lot of space for
30
them to
seconds left.
slowly push. And we do get a B push, but it is not going to be through garage. And there is Kami making up space using Neon's ability. The slide gets back into B and is just starting to do whatever they can to delay the team from getting here. So aggressive. I mean, that is one thing about Neon, is that you can be extremely aggro if you can take advantage of it. Leia, though, doesn't have any time for that nonsense and just cleans up. And now we have Marina and Danny actually doing great work. So Solaire unable to get the retake there, kind of unfortunately split the team in half. And Taro's operator, I think, just goes down with the ship. Yeah, they didn't even pick it up, actually. I don't even know if they knew where it was.
I think B site is one of those sites where you kind of hope that you're able to retake it on defense. There's a lot of places to push out after giving up site, and there's not a lot of places to hold it. But Zero Marksman White did a very nice job holding that down after the plant. They kind of didn't have a lot of time at the end there. I think they planted with 25 seconds left, so they didn't even have time to rotate if B site proved to be too difficult to push onto. But you see this fast lane usage almost acted as a smoke. Although M did fall there was a lot of important trades going down to kind of diminish the numbers and give the advantage to Zero Marksman White after figuring out where Solaire was attempting to retake from.
Yeah, we shall see what happens here. We do get a really early timeout, actually. I'm not expecting that, because both teams have been playing fairly well. I mean, it's been back and forth a little, 2-2, but we'll see here. Maybe Zero Marksman White want to rethink their strat a little bit. Shaky start in some cases, but honestly, all the rounds have been kind of even. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know about the timeout. It feels a little early to worry about strategies so far, but we'll see.
I think it's their thinking is probably if we let too many rounds go in one direction, that momentum is going to be too much to stop. So a timeout this early is definitely uncommon. You want to kind of wait until there's 3 rounds left in the half and you can actually make a difference there. But having a timeout, consolidating with your team, making sure mental is still up and everyone is staying positive, if that's going to be an important thing for your team, then definitely use the timeout there.
Yeah, we shall see what happens here. Ooh, that is a tough one. M getting that kill on Talia does allow them to make some space here. And we are now looking for a C plant, maybe? I'm not sure. Taro is unable to, of course, afford another operator, so I don't expect to see that anytime soon again. But when she does get one back, or Tour de Force, it's going to be pretty scary, I think. And here we go. Actually, Marina holding back, really patient. And this might be the strength of Zero Marksman White here. They did this last time too, right? Just really, really slow, not really forcing the push, right? In our first game between, Misfits Black and Revive Me Jet, both teams were really aggressive, right? You mentioned how many times did Revive Me Jet get onto site within the first 10 seconds. Here, those Zero Marksman White are taking a much slower approach, right? They're looking for a pick, seeing if they can do anything, and then kind of going from there. All right, 30 seconds on the timer left as the plant comes out. And they have a pretty decisive hold here now on A, essentially able to take angles, get in all the spaces they want to be. And it's going to force Solaire now to try and recover from being 40. Oh, unfortunate, the bounce. That's rough.
Yes, maybe that's just a little bit of Fawn not being used to Fade's utility quite yet, but this retake is still going to be very, very challenging because keep in mind Solaire is on a save here. I mean, Taro has that judge. Looks like she's going to be playing for exits and players attempting to leave site. I think this is a good goal for Solaire to have. They're already numbers down. Flash comes out and Taro teleports away, maybe attempting to save the gun. Not exactly sure what's going on. Judge cannot convert any kills, and Zero Marksman saving all 5 guns for this round.
Yeah, that was a big pickup, and I mean, maybe that's the power of the timeout to get a little bit more refocused, but that's a really, really big pickup for them. And it is doing really well here, but we do see Taro again with the operator. It is her preferred gun after all, so I'm not surprised to see that. But we'll see. Maybe this round it'll be a lot more decisive. She is actually holding A. Looks like she might go to try to peek through sewers, look to get maybe an easy pick off here, which is very possible. And gotta be careful though. The Cypher Cam, I think, can see her. Yep, does.
Oh.
Gets darted actually, and has to pull away. Is gonna re-peek it though.
Zero Marksman has the ability to get aggressive. Their piggy banks are absolutely stuffed with cash at this point after winning so many in a row. But Kami, fearless, running onto site, double flashed, mollied. I don't know what is going on, but Kami is absolutely saying, I don't care what you're throwing at me. Even Nightfall, I'm just gonna stop you from attempting to retake this at all. Actually stuns herself, but still gets the kill here, throwing out fast lane and getting off site after the plant. That was exactly what you want a duelist to do. And Neon seems to be working really, really well.
Ooh. Yeah, and there is Taro with the op, just takes Neon right out. Unfortunately, it is now Fell versus two people and can't, right? Taro just holding that angle with the op. There's really nothing you can do. You gotta at least try for the peak, but it's just high game again. And like I said, hey, if I get a really close game out of this one, I'll be happy. But we'll see. Fawn messing around a little bit with Taro there. And we've got, hey, 3-3. And Taro got to keep the op. I think that could be actually a really big pickup. And isn't even actually going for full shields. It's just going to hold on to the light shield.
Yeah, has $0, so can't actually purchase full shields. The glass cannon build worked in that previous round, though sometimes they get a little bit nervous about attempting to retake with the op, but it actually secured that defuse for her teammate. So a really well-played retake there for Solaire. See Bladestorm coming out for scene, just the Sheriff in hand, other than the Bladestorm, so has to secure some headshots with those knives. And Gravity Well in that garage location doesn't actually secure anything. Kami with the Stinger could be really, really powerful if she's able to nail some movement, but no damage done.
Yeah, actually traded out for the Phantom off of the dead body of M. So M's death gave Kami the change up from the Stinger. Unfortunately, the Stinger, I love the Stinger. It's a fun gun to use. But I think once you're at that disadvantage of distance, there's just no reason. So it may as well pick up the gun from your dead teammate because it's not like you're going to be using it.
Look at where the spike is now. There's two players from Solaire hiding out on site. The fast lane might get them on site, but I don't know how they're supposed to hold this considering numbers advantage for Solaire. Even the operator in the hands of Taro up in heaven. Danny has to make use of this last bit of utility to secure the plan, and it does secure it, but not without losing Fell in the process. Too many blinds coming through.
Yep. That's a tough one. And yeah, that was rough. I mean, Taro just blind firing the operator, looking to catch anybody. It doesn't matter. At least lets the presence be known. But yeah, that was rough. I mean, Kami tried their best there with that round the corner. Did manage to take Astra out, but was unable to then do anything about 3 more people showing up. And that's just, you know, sometimes it works out that way. Sometimes it doesn't. Taro now keeping the op. And I think that's going to be a big deciding factor. That operator is such a obstacle to deal with. Hasn't even had to use Tour de Force. So even in the event that Taro loses the operator this round, she's just going to have essentially a free one next round anyway.
And that is something that I think Zero Marksman White wants to avoid as much as possible. So they're going to be looking to either smoke off this operator, and they've spotted it at this point. It is on top of the site. They want to get that down and out as early as possible so it doesn't prove to be an issue later on in the round. Some spray downs happening on Garage, but this is the style of Zero Marksman's attack. They are very, very slow. They want to punish Solaire for any overextension of resources. Spike now rotating back over to C. No member of Solaire feeling like they want to peek this. We do see a jump peek, and the swing out from Scene does not connect. Leah takes one down and out, evens out numbers. Bloodbath in Garage. Spike now able to make its way onto C, but this flank from Taro, wait a minute. I think Taro saw, and the shot does not connect. One left standing. It's going to be Fawn. Full util available. But Danny being a rat in Garage, should that position be pushed. Prowler leading the way. Fawn daring. Throw out util and peeks out, get the first and the second headshot. It's just Danny left in that position in Garage. Is Fawn gonna expect
No, Fawn,
this?
you're looking the wrong way. Oh, this is so scary. Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know which way I thought that was going to go, honestly. That was amazing play from Fawn. What a great attempt there. Even though they didn't win the round, that was still really, really good. Just amazing control there on that. Yeah, let's take a look at that again in the replay. Sends the Prowler out, and neither Marina nor Fell actually even looked at the Prowler. They just knew where Fawn was, and it didn't matter. Fawn just gets 2 headshots and goes about her day. Danny able to save it. That was so clutch. Just a really, really solid round there from both teams. But now tie game again, and we have a timeout here from Solaire this time. So both teams looking to recuperate. We are getting closer to the swap, right? We're almost there. Got about 4 rounds to go. So we'll see. I mean, this one's really close from the start, Jojo. I mean, this might be our overtime game, actually.
It definitely might be, and considering how early these 2 timeouts have been taken in this half, I think both teams are valuing getting a lead early on, and neither of them have been able to do that. We were at 3-3, now we're at 4-4. No team can really get up on that mountain and hold it without the opponents kind of making their way up there as well. So this timeout is for Solaire to try and gain that momentum, try and get multiple rounds in a row, which they haven't been able to do quite yet.
Yeah, we shall see what happens as things play out here. I am curious to see how the timeout affects. Taro did not rebuy the operator, by the way, as we expected. Probably going to go ahead and just use Tour de Force if it is prudent to do so.
There
it comes. And that's the first shot is not the way I think Taro wanted that to go. What a beautiful headshot from Danny, actually. And hey, at least that gun was free, I suppose. But here's Kami with overdrive. Will Kami collect on this one of the scarier ults, especially if you are good at pinpointing it? Looks like it's going to run out, though, before any kills are gained with it. Yeah, can't do much. Leia takes Kami out. Doesn't at least do a lot of damage. I mean, had 28 health, I think. So Chai here going to try to retake.
And the Nightfall ends up coming out as well. Players falling left and right in a round that I thought was going to go in Zero Marksman direction. Marina can still make that happen, but 1v3 and someone sticking that spike, not going to happen. Solaire, the timeout went in their favor.
Yep, seems that way. So this is a really good pickup here. It is unlikely to see. Yeah, I don't think Taro can actually afford the operator, even if she wants it. So it'll be another round or so before then. Looks like she's just going to opt for, I guess, full shields classic. Oh, okay. Chai buys him a Vandal. It makes sense. Give him an actual gun, even though Headhunter is really good. But let's take a look at the kills, right? Leah in the lead, 13-7. And actually from there, it's pretty much a tied game, right? Taro. It's been 6 months. Give me a break. I'm sure chat will yell at me for that one like they did last time, but it's fine. Taro, anyway, 7, and we have 7s down the board there from there out. But Leah really commanding lead with 13 kills here, doing a ton of work for Zero Marksman White.
This frenzy in the hands of Kami, it can be very, very useful for a Neon player if you're going to get super close and just zip right into the face of Taro. For example, after this kill onto Marina, and the frenzy can do nothing against it, but Danny Sheriff, it does get that trade. Still, numbers advantage to Solaire by a lot, 4-2.
Oh,
Fell actually really clean with that Sheriff shot, maybe securing this plant even more, but Scenes push and pushing through the smoke. You just cannot expect that. Fell not able to flick around and get yet another headshot. And Solaire is guaranteed at least an even half. This is looking really, really good for them. This whole time they've been feeling this pressure, trying to get some sort of advantage. And now that 6-6 is the best that Zero Marksman can do, I think they're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be feeling great if you are Solaire. That timeout seems to have helped quite a bit. And Leah just bursting into a lead again here, still 14 in, close contender, right? Fell did great with that Sheriff, but it's a big gap, right? I mean, as we said, though, kills don't always mean much, because in our previous game, highest kills on the board did not equate to a win for the overall map. So Leah doing a great job, but they've got to be careful to keep this lead as we're getting ready to get closer and closer to the swap. Whether we're going to be looking at 6-6, 7-5, who knows. Oh, that's a big one, though. Kami getting just taken down by Scene as they run onto site. It does allow Scene to actually draw back. Not any healing on this team, right? Solaire cannot really fix that damage. But Scene did what they needed to do, right? Got a kill and just sort of ran away.
Exactly, and you're always going to want to trade damage for a kill. That is, the best trade that you can do sometimes in this game. And so Zero Marksman wanting to rotate with numbers disadvantage, but they have turned right around and are actually planning on re-hitting, but Solaire did not buy any of this. They have capped 2 players on site, and now are aware of these players continuing to push out. They've got 4 on site, hoping to stop even the plant from happening, and everything is going right. But now it's 2v2. And this push worked out for Zero Marksman. Taro with the operator on the retake. And like I said earlier, this is really, really hard to do.
Yeah, and actually, Taro could potentially have seen Marina, but was swapping to the gun as Marina ran by through the tripwire. So they saw each other and both were busy doing something else. So kind of lucky for Taro there, or Marina, depends on which one you want to look at. But the operator is on the ground and Taro's in a bad spot. It would be kind of not a great idea. Yeah, I was going to say it wouldn't be a great idea for either person to swing, just wait for the peak. And Marina, 4 kills. And look, it's 5. So like I said, we could be approaching 6-6. We could get another tie game here at the swap like we did last time, Jojo.
You know what? I'm feeling it is going to happen. Look at that economy from Solaire. They've got no ultimates ready whatsoever. Neither does Zero Marksman, but at least they're able to more or less buy full. We've got a Bulldog, a Spectre, and I thought I saw a Bucky for a second for Fawn, but switching off to the Sheriff. This is not a great buy at all for Solaire. They're going to have to make some nifty moves and steal some guns from Zero Marksman, or at least outplay them in some way for them to secure a lead going into the second half.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if, at the very least, I think Zero Marksman might want this to be a tie game. That probably sounds obvious, but the reality is you want to try to wipe the scoreboard clean and make it just about your plays on defense, right? At that point, it's okay, are we confident in our defense? If we are, then we should have this. If we're at least even, any deficit that you got to work from always makes things a little more difficult, but it depends, right? We don't really know, right? Zero Marksman White might prefer attack, and this might be going very poorly for them. We can't really hear inside their heads, but we'll see here. That said, I actually think, on defense, Neon might actually be really scary if you think about it, right? The ability to run through backside very quickly to get from
aggression
place
on defense is always unexpected, so I'm going to agree with you there. And wait a minute!
Oof.
Was that a wallbang headshot coming out from Kami? What a beautiful first blood. Kami continuing the reign of terror, taking down Taro as well. This time it's M's turn to get Leah, and this site absolutely belongs to Zero Marksman. The last 2 players for Solaire stuck behind that Omen smoke back site. They have to figure out how to retake this. They're going to put everything they have into it, but I just really think 2v5 retake is not going to be possible.
Yeah, and it was kind of scary when we noticed, Kami picking that Neon. We weren't sure what to expect, but that pull around the corner on C, Leah tried to go for the shot, couldn't, as basically Kami was just out of the range there. And as Leah rounded the corner, ran right into M, and it is now going kind of poorly, actually. Scene getting 3, going crazy. Here comes the Blade Storm, doesn't get anything out of it. Unfortunately, Marina does clean up, and Fawn, did get the head dink, but that slight 15 meters on the Phantom stole that from Fawn. Now, whether Fawn could have actually completed the kill and the defuse, I don't think so, but that is unfortunate to see.
And if that was a Vandal Maru, it would be a different story. The time was ticking though, so I think either way that round likely would have gone in Zero Marksman favor. But this time we are flipping sides. We've completely switched over. If you look at that scoreboard, the only time a team was actually able to get more than 2 in a row was 3 in a row for Zero Marksman. So it really did go back and forth, back and forth. I'm expecting somewhat of the same thing to happen half, unless one team really hated the half that they had previously and are going to start popping off here.
Yeah, I am curious to see now, like, is this going to be, is Solaire really comfy on attack? Is Zero Marksman White really comfy on defense? I think is going to be the decider here, because honestly, it was pretty even. Neither team really seemed to be running away with it as far as the first half was concerned. We did have, back and forth, back and forth. I don't know, was there ever really even more than like a 1 to 2 round deficit at most points? I think it was like 2 at most, and then it became pretty much even.
Exactly. And so immediately we're kind of seeing a similar issue with the attack from Solaire. They are being so patient. They have not started committing to any site. This push onto A is their first indication of where they want to go, and they're going to be forced to push through all of this Cypher utility. Marina hanging out in that heaven location and does get the kill through the Astra smoke. Brought down to 100 HP, but even that is not going to matter. So Solaire gonna get this plant, but they have to defend it with numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, we shall see. That was actually a really great kill from Marina, the classic with, the tripwire. Kind of a surprise that scene actually just ran into the tripwire like that. Actually, both trips did a little bit of work there. And Solaire is not looking super great here. It's 2v4. They are going for the defuse. Kami can't actually stick the defuse, but doesn't matter. They clean up. And now 6-7, Zero Marksman White start the pistol round off as they do a little bit of gun shopping. Although, I mean, it's pistol round. You're not going to get too much, I guess.
Not going to get too much, but maybe some pretty skins that may or may not give you aim bot. Definitely don't, but if you need that mental simulation, then pick up a nice skin. But here we go. The full Spectre buy from Zero Marksman. They want to keep this advantage. This is their third technical round in a row, just because they won those last 2 in the previous half. So maybe they're definitely feeling themselves somewhat at this point. They were able to keep 4 alive there, and I think that's big on a pistol round, especially when the spike had been planted and they were going for a retake attempt. Look at this aggression already down A long. You saw that blinding light did find someone, but no one from Zero Marksman wanted to peek that and go for the aim duel. It's going to scare Solaire away enough for them to bring the spike back over to C, though. But this time there's Cypher utility all over this side of the map.
Yeah, that is a really great sort of lesson in how to place some Cypher utility to get so much coverage. I mean, essentially, there's just nobody on B because you have a tripwire, you have you have the camera in garage, actually kind of viewing the back angle. You've got a tripwire in C, so it really does give them the ability to move around. That said, look, Taro is basically running on the site and is actually on A. Didn't actually see M. I thought Taro had a shot on M, and gets taken out. That's unfortunate. They are going to now force this and run down towards A here off of the trade, but Danny there to slow them down, stopping that push. Oh, Chai did not look to her left, and that is going to cost. Gets taken down by the Spectre spray, and it is now just Fawn and Scene trying to do whatever they can, maybe trying to at least get a plant. Oh, a Marshall Gaming. Scene says no. Nope. Oh, Scene, beautiful attempt. Marina, though, cleans up for Zero Marksman White. Last person left, but that's all that matters. 6-8, and now getting a little bit ahead. So like we said, hey, maybe they're more comfortable on defense, right? I mean, that's where Cypher really shines. So maybe that's what Zero Marksman we're waiting for. Just keep the game as even as possible until we can get onto defense where we're going to feel way more comfortable with everything.
In that round, I did feel a lot better about Solaire's attack. They, did not let Zero Marksman keep 4 players alive again. And here, when they have that full buy, I'm thinking they're going to start bringing it back again, stop Zero Marksman from increasing their lead to 3 rounds. And they're doing that by looking like throwing a lot of util on C. Just 2 players shooting down C, but 2 members of Zero Marksman defending it as well. And some lurk attempts coming out of A do get denied by Fawn. Fawn able to get the wallbang headshot as C is also being attacked. Marina kind of stuck on site. There's a little bit of damage, but not enough for a full kill. And Danny with the headshot, gonna be able to pick up a gun. Never mind. Taro was ready for it, taking down Danny and giving Solaire their first round in this half.
Yeah, that is going to be a big pickup. And again, we're just getting this constant seesaw back and forth between these two. So this is absolutely, they are both fighting for it. And I know I said I wanted a close game, but we are definitely getting one here. This is really just popping off in kind of the best way, right? I mean, we've got a lot of action going down here. Zero Marksmen White so far, great showing. Solaire, great to see them back. So we'll see. Also, we'll notice they're being a little bit more conservative with certain plays and guns this time, although I think the op is a little harder on attack for Taro to pull up, but I expect to see one anyway, just because that's what Taro does.
Taro does what Taro does best, and that is hit crazy shots with the operator. We're gonna see Solaire pushing out into mid. We have yet to see this play, but M holding it so well, and the stun was perfectly timed by their teammate for M to get that opening pick onto Chai, and that's gonna be no smokes. It's very, very hard to attack B site without any smokes. Now that Zero Marksman has been made aware of it, I don't think Lee should really take this chance and push through. Gonna throw this aftershock and then the nightfall as well. Kami still holding it. The bravery does not go unnoticed, but could not get any kills. This is looking great for Solaire. We're able to take B and get the plant. Now Leah can maybe play for Rolling Thunder. She's able to get off of site fast enough before Zero Marksmen begin their retake. Danny with that first kill of the retake. Rolling Thunder does happen. And Taro secures the 3K off of it. Great play from Solaire.
Yeah, and we're back to tied. This is just such a close one. I'm really enjoying this. So we are absolutely in for a treat as we get closer and closer. I guess we'll see if we get to overtime. I don't know. Maybe we'll have another one where suddenly a team just runs away with it at the end. Meanwhile, though, the gun buy here looking a lot less even this time, unfortunately for Zero Marksmen White. Look at this, a stinger again from Kami. Last time Kami had a stinger, they converted it into a phantom from their dead teammate. So maybe gonna try to go for something a little different here. Look at this though, look at how fast Kami is running down C, coming around. And I mean, Leia is expecting it, hears the noise, and just tries to pull away. Unfortunately, that stinger is not gonna do a lot of work at that distance. And Kami is still hunting, looking for someone. Taro, though, also looking. Two predators just looking to fight one another here, and Taro closes it. Yeah, Stinger versus Phantom. There's only one gun that's probably going to win that most of the time.
Depending on distance, of course. I mean, if Kami was a little bit closer. But the spike is going to be planted actually all the way over on A. The only death so far has occurred closer to C. So Zero Marksmen closer than Solaire may think they are, but they have their positions. They're ready to hold down this site. Marina, oh my gosh, completely taking Scene off guard, does get the sheriff kill, cannot collect the gun. And suddenly we're down to a 1v1 battle. It's gonna be Danny versus 2 HP. Taro, Danny just a sheriff, but one body shot is all that's needed. And the timing, they both spot each other. But Taro has to play for the defuse, has to play for objective. No! I think Danny got it.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, I don't know. It's gonna be really close. Oh, 0.22 on the clock. That is just absolutely the last minute. What a play. Danny, yeah, does manage that body shot, collecting on Taro, and that is what they need to go back up. So again, the seesaw just keeps going back and forth, and we have a timeout here coming from Solaire, probably trying to calm some nerves here a little bit, because you're going to start running out of places to go, right? You can only go back and forth until you get so far. Look at this, though, from M. And this, I'm not really sure what Scene was looking at, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there was someone behind that wall. She was trying to wall bang it out. Yes, you know, sometimes retakes take you off guard, and that is the beauty of them, and also sometimes the detriment of them. And we just saw Scene being a victim there. But this timeout hopefully is going to allow Solaire to take a few breaths. They haven't had a timeout since very, very early in our first half. And they need to kind of reconvene, discuss how their attacks have been going well, because they've won plenty of rounds, but also what they did wrong and what they did to allow that retake to be successful from Zero Marksman. And Zero Marksman also gets time to talk here as well. So that's kind of the issue with taking a timeout is, yes, you're maybe stalling the momentum from Zero Marksman after winning that one round, but you're also letting them discuss what to continue doing and what to repeat in this next one.
Yeah, and we shall see what happens here. Taro is going to go for the tour de force here, not buying a gun, but does have the shields up. So we'll see if that manages to make a difference here as this battle goes back and forth one more time. And we'll see. We also have Blade Storm as well as Cosmic Divide up. And Taro does get a first kill right on the fell using tour de force to great effect here. We'll see Neural Theft, Rolling Thunder, Seekers. I mean, there's a lot of info gathering from Zero Marks and White that they can use as well if they manage to get the ability to do so, especially for Cypher, who's got to be so close to somebody after a kill. So we'll see. But look, they are pushing scene patiently. But look at this. Marina has a locked down camera, tripwires, sitting in heaven, all sorts of stuff for Cypher.
I think a big idea here is for Solaire to scout out where that Cypher utility has been placed. This is some blood being spilled over on mid site and C. Numbers advantage to Solaire. They're going to be able to get the plant on A. Maybe that was just a distraction over on C. It didn't matter that one player was lost because Zero Marksmen have to rotate now and go for this retake. Marina jumping down out of heaven and getting one, but the spray down, too much from Solaire. They keep 3 alive and they tie us up again. Maru, I don't even know what to say. That round was beautiful, but it does keep going back and forth. How can one of these teams take finally more than one round off of the other one?
Yeah, and I mean, again, I can't believe that it's just this close. I know, like, we keep kind of repeating that, but it's just going to come down to, if it doesn't go to overtime, it's going to come down to just whoever manages to run away with a second round in a row at this point. But I absolutely see overtime in our future here, Jojo, at this rate. It is just either that or the economy difference is going to have a huge impact somewhere along the line and really have some sort of impact on what happens. But we shall see. Unfortunately for Kami, Overdrive, never mind, actually collects and refills off of Fawn, running back to site. May as well, right? You got to kill. You don't have to get too greedy. Scene, though, does get Danny for it and is now going to allow Leah to get on the site. And that does get the spike down. Almost, well, okay, the fake, and then the replant. Kami, not enough time left on Overdrive to get anything else from it. That is actually kind of the danger of Neon's Overdrive, right? It is not like some of the others where you have an unlimited time, right? And look at that, Taro and Leah cleaning up, and Leah again. Oh, wow. And here we go, 10-9. Solaire now taking a lead in this half. This is the first time they've actually been ahead. It's just been them catching up, but this time they are now 1 up.
And that was consistent with the end of the previous round. You just see kill after kill after kill in quick succession coming out from Solaire. So maybe as soon as they are aware of where Zero Marksman is and how to kind of hold those angles, they're just winning these aim battles. They're getting the headshots they need to get. They're getting the assists enough so that a body shot will kill the player on Zero Marksman. But Solaire playing this really, really well. This is the first round they've kind of had a step onto one side, and the jump peek from Marina and the pulling from the Rolling Thunder. This is going to give sight to Solaire, but what? Marina shot through the smoke, headshotting Scene.
Ooh.
That is a brilliant first blood. Spike is still going to go down, but now this retake is looking more and more possible by the second.
Yeah, it is looking really good, actually. I mean, M clearing a lot of space here, and really, it's Solaire's entire team is on C long here. Leah looking to run back up a little bit, maybe to use some of that utility. M gonna throw the blind, actually past Leah into the smoke. It doesn't matter, the trade comes out. But this one's tough, actually. They're gonna have a hard time going for it. The body block,
not again.
Marina is sticking, gets it. This one seems a little bit more legitimate, but we are once again tied.
And yet again, a stick from the spike. That is when you really have to trust your team. You are, unable to defend yourself. You're paying attention to the spike, and you have to make sure that your team is either body blocking you, getting those kills, or using utility to make those sprayed shots through a smoke not hit you. And that is the trust that we saw coming out from Zero Marksman. So already I'm seeing a lot of team synergy and trust from them, which gives them a very, very hopeful future. They just have to make sure that they win this game. We didn't mention it in the pre-show, but they did in fact win their first group stage as well. So if they can escape groups undefeated, that's going to be really great for their mental going into tomorrow's games.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely right. I mean, you definitely want to go up if you can. And I mean, obviously, there's still a lot of play left in the group stage, but we shall see. This one is coming down to the wire. Taro here getting a little aggressive on this A push. But both, I mean, again, much like our last game, I think both Solaire and Zero Marksman have a lot to be happy about here. This one is just two teams really slugging it out. This is like finals or semifinals worthy, right? I mean, this game is just
Hmm.
a nail biter, and we'll have to see where it goes from here. But I am unsure. I really don't know if I could predict who it's going to be. Earlier, maybe I would have said maybe Zero Marksman, but honestly, both Solaire and Zero Marksman are doing a great job here.
They definitely are, and these small decisions are making such a huge difference in this round. Danny with that first pick, but instantly Taro evening out numbers. We still have yet to see the spike being dedicated, but Shy, not wanting to leave sight without clearing it first, does secure that pick onto M. We've got even numbers for both Solaire and Zero Marksman. Make that uneven, but look at this time. We've got 12 seconds in the spike, not in hand. Shy can't get there in time,
Mm-mm.
especially after being smoked off, is just gonna hide in this corner and save the gun. Could have gone so well. Chai just didn't rotate quick enough to support their team against Zero Marksman's concrete defense.
Yeah, and that is a really big, unfortunate turn there, right? I mean, you can't even get to the spike, can't even try to plant it, so no plant bonus. And unfortunately, that does give Zero Marksman the up here, right? So at this point, yeah, we have been back and forth in this game. I mean, even the kills are evening out, right? 22 and 20, and then we have 21 and 17. So both teams are kind of going back and forth. But again, Zero Marks and White are clawing it away, even though they don't have the kill numbers, they have the wins. And at this point, if they get this one, they're going to be a match point. It's going to make Solaire fight for overtime. Whether this goes that way or not, I don't know. We'll see. But this one, I feel like this round, JoJo is going to decide it. Much like, and I mean, that's a great way to start. If I'm Solaire, that's a great way to start things off. But I think this one, kind of like our first game, is not going to be down to match point. It's going to be down to the match that gets us to match point.
Yes, definitely. I think 11 rounds, as soon as you're there, everything just starts making sense. And look at this peek out from M, the spray down, 6 HP, able to pop Seekers before being taken out. M still alive and kicking in Garage. Leah wants this kill very badly, but needs the plant. Or if she can secure the plant and they can play post plant, that's maybe their only hope there. I mean, M is basically dead already, except that she's not. 6 HP, Leah jumping out. Leah and Chai working in tandem, and M with a 3K, they simply cannot get rid of her.
Enemy remaining.
That'll do it.
Finally, Taro with that headhunter shot. It is a body shot, but it doesn't matter. Now Taro, again, needing to play for objective. The last time Taro was in a clutch position, waited just a little bit too short. And there you go, the headshot. That's all Taro needed to secure this, forcing us onto another tie. 4 ones in the scoreline.
That was a nail biter, but that was beautiful crosshair plays from Taro. Just the flick slightly to the left and takes out, unfortunately, Breach's entire skull.
Yeah.
So we are going to see here that Danny just unable to clutch it up. Had in the past, but this is a rough one because they're not able to buy up. Look at the Sheriff's Frenzy. I mean, this is a tough one. This is very likely going to push them into position for match point for Solaire. And at this point, Zero Marks might have to be really careful about where they go from here.
We see Taro sneaking up, making her way towards Garage. I mean, really, they are expecting her to be holding the operator at this point. So they're playing very far back and just hoping that they have the better angle on her. But the operator, you can only really be holding one angle at a time. So you can see how Taro is just scanning in Garage, making sure that there is no one in there. But I mean, look at I can't believe how far back Zero Marksman is playing. They really are not being aggressive whatsoever. C-Site has no defense on it at all. And that is definitely not something you see every day. Fell, the one who's maybe close enough to get there first, but a 1v5 when all 5 members of Solaire are pushing on, that's not going to work out in your favor.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, though, a lot of these rounds on C, Fel has been going down to Taro very easily at the beginning of the round. So it's almost been kind of like, is this better to just kind of let them get the site and then retake than it is to maybe go down immediately? But Scene, what a great shot onto M, and that is not a well, okay, that's a great little classic head tap there. Never mind. I was gonna say it was starting to retake 4v5, but look at Scene and Chai just chewing through. And look, Solaire now match point. Zero Marksmen and White have been unable to recover here, but in this round they can buy. We can go to overtime, Jojo, or we can see once again a 13-11 split as we get ready to potentially wrap this one up as well with a really nice comeback from Solaire here in the second half.
This timeout, I don't know if I love it, Maru. This timeout has been called, I believe, by Solaire. They are it was called by Zero Marksmen White. So I like it a lot better because they've got all the pressure. Everything needs to happen in their favor for this round. Either way, though, it's going to be the last round of our normally allotted rounds. So, like you said, either going to be match point and ending this map, moving us on to the next one, or going to overtime. And I don't know about you, Mario, but overtime, double overtime, I'm kind of thinking more in that direction.
Yeah, I think this is potentially this might be our overtime match if I had to predict. I don't see Zero Marksmen White going out at least without fighting this one to the last minute here. But that said, they've struggled in the last couple rounds. I mean, obviously that was a save round, so that makes sense. But we shall see here. Solaire, though, have looked great in these last couple rounds. They've been doing a fantastic job. Look at this. Danny unable to buy full shields, though.
And look at how many ultimates are available for Solaire. I don't know about it. You know that both of these teams are going to be throwing absolutely everything they have into this round. So I'm just expecting flashes, blinds, utility, absolutely everywhere. We already see some shots being fired into Garage, but look at this stack from Zero Marksmen. They are absolutely reading Solaire and thinking that that spike is going to be going Garage or C. And so far, it is correct.
Yeah, and I mean, Taro's just holding that sliver of a crack with the doorway. And I mean, obviously, Tour de Force, that's a dangerous thing anyway, because with the door blown out, all she's got to do is see you for a second, and it is a single shot kill with Tour de Force. Leah here looking to block off any potential interference from the A side of B. Wow, all this utility coming out just to blow everything away, just to get away from this site. And Kami, through the smoke, does get seen, but Taro does get her kill before getting traded out. And actually got it with the Vandal, wasn't even with Tour de Force. Cosmic Divide is going to buy them some time. Chai, oh, Danny caught with the utility out.
30 seconds.
Chai going to be aware there's one more in Garage. No, Fell getting the jump on her. Solaire hasn't planted yet. They've got 20 seconds left on the clock. Oh my God. Leah with that quick flick and that kill. That's going to make this plant even more possible. Time was ticking for them. They needed to get onto site very quickly, and Overdrive pulled out yet again. We've seen this do crazy things. 1v1, Kami v Fawn. Are we going to overtime?
Yes, we are.
Oh my God.
That was a fantastic overdrive from Kami after having a couple where maybe it didn't work out the way that they wanted it to at the beginning, but this time it is going to win the round. Kami celebrating a little bit, just having a little bit of fun here with the rest of the ultimate with time on the clock. And defuse. Now, like I said, Jojo, we've got our overtime match for today.
And we kind of felt it from early on. We kind of knew the rounds were going back and forth in the perfect way. Solaire and Zero Marksmen, a very, very close matchup. Both of these two teams playing so well, but never able to claw themselves more than a 3-round win streak. So overtime it is. This is where economy doesn't matter. It's simply play style. We see Taro going for that glass cannon, buying the operator, and absolutely no shields can be afforded here, and no operator on Zero Marksmen, but you really want that op on the defensive side, so I support this buy from Taro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're going to go to overtime in your Taro, you may as well pick up an operator, right? Who needs utility when you can get an op?
Yeah, exactly. Already making their way down to B. We kind of saw this earlier from Zero Marksmen in their pistol round. They wanted to go B early on. We saw Trailblazer note Fawn's location, but not actually get a bite out. And I don't know if Solaire wants to be aggressive on this. You can see Chai throwing some bullets down in mid, but neither team wants to lose a player first.
Cover going out.
Yeah, I think this is a big... I mean, honestly, in overtime, right, you have technically 2 chances, but I mean, no one really wants to go into eternal overtime. That said, I think the first round of overtime is always the biggest, and Fawn making a huge impression here is potentially able to... No, can't, has the utility out. You just can't close it out. M also getting a call out of kills, but it is now just M against... Okay, well, at least they got Leah. That was sort of important, I think, to prove a point. Coming down to the classic. No, I don't know about that one.
Oh no, I feel like M should have taken the time to reload there. If they just had one more bullet in the chamber of that Phantom, would have been a different story. But Taro able to close it out, traded the operator for a gun that you can spray with, and still got that final kill. Very, very well played. So now Solaire on match point again. They have to close it out here, though. They do not want to give Zero Marksmen another chance to win it. This is their second time on match point. We saw Kami clutch it up in regular time. Is it going to be another clutch situation?
Yeah, that's such a heartbreaker too, because I mean, M was doing so good, but yeah, the unfortunate not reloading, not pulling back a little bit off of the Seekers, I think is going to be a huge problem here. Solaire looking to now get their win. All they need is to just get on site, plant, and go home. But we'll see. The dash from Jet is not going to work out as M just taps her right away, but Fawn and Scene are there to clean up behind her and get Solaire onto site. Kami, though, finds Taro this time in Garage and wins that one. So Leah is going to get the plant, but this is now a 3v3, and Fawn is really dinked up there. Not a lot of health left. Kami cleaning out these corners. They don't even really seem to know that they're in Garage, and they do now, but it's... Well, okay, Leah goes down. Here
Great
comes...
Rolling Thunder. Oh my god, the
wow.
Rolling Thunder just won them that.
There we go. And Solaire 14-12. We do go to overtime, but it is still a very, very close game from the attackers. And look at some of these replays, right? Taro with that op, getting some kills. Fell. This was an amazing set of sheriff shots here. Just some really amazing... The Blade Storm. Oh, but overall, what a great game between the two. Such a clean set here. I mean, again, both teams should probably be pretty happy with their performance, but what a great way for Solaire to make their reappearance into Game Changers with a win in their first group game here.
I definitely agree. And that was one of the more exciting games I think we've seen. Both of those teams could technically be considered new. I mean, we know that we just saw the formation of Zero Marksmen and Solaire, like we mentioned in the pre-show, hasn't played in so many months. But it did feel like they have a bit of a way to go before they really get comfortable playing with each other, maybe playing these agents, playing on these maps. From the get-go, the agent select, typically you're going to see some mirror comps in competitive play, but there was only one agent in common for both of these teams. So great job from both of them. This is, again, just the group stage. They've got lots of time in the tournament itself to warm up to each other, and I'm really excited to see where both of these two teams go.
Yeah, I mean, I think they should all be happy. You know, the last time we saw Solaire, I think they played on Bind, if I remember, and Chamber had like just made it into it's crazy to think back, right? So yeah, almost thinking of them as a new team. I mean, Leah and Taro are returning, but yeah, I mean, hey, the reemergence of Solaire, I'm really excited to see. And from Zero Marksman White, I'm also really excited to see. You know, I really like Kami's Neon. I thought they did a really great job with Neon, and I was happy to see Neon just get played, at least in the game I got to cast. But I guess we'll see, because we got one more game coming up after this break, so we'll see kind of where we go from here in our next game of the group stage.
hopefully also filled with a lot of action.
Mm.
So stick around, we will be right back.
Mhm.